No droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos, no Ray Nobodies, no sequel trilogy fans of any kind. I just got done watching, kind of watching a live stream with two friends of mine, and I'm done. I'm done with the emotionality, and it starts, and I know where this started, and I know who's behind this. If you keep going to fanboy rage porn channels, and you know who they are, I've had long conversations with subscribers that are like, I can see through these people. You're going to be a very miserable human being. Okay, here's the deal. We get Puck, erstwhile editor and news hawk, the Les Nessman of you know, the Hollywood entertainment news, Matthew Bolini, whatever the fuck his name is, posting that he was told, I talked about this yesterday, that Kathleen Kennedy got a contract extension to 3 years. Okay, so I could name the channels that ran with this without looking at where it came from, looking at who posted it, Ola.js, looking at the facts of the matter. I have been told, which is how he started out with this story, is not a news story. Okay, that is not news. That is a rumor. He apparently can get away with not calling a rumor. But when Doomcock says this is a rumor, when Andre says this is a rumor, take it with a grain of salt. Everybody on the fanboy rage porn spectrum of stupid loses their shit at Doomcock for daring to actually call a rumor a fucking rumor. Okay? Ignoring the facts. Ignoring the fucking facts. Let's see. Last night, late, I was asleep. Cameron texted me and said, this whole thing is bullshit. She is out. Okay, now, who am I going to believe? Somebody with a million subscribers who makes tons of money screaming and ranting and raving? Or am I going to believe someone who's actually spent 20 years in the business and, oh, by the way, unlike some people, is still in the business, on the verge of actually being fucking successful? Okay? Who am I going to believe? Who am I going to go with? Am I going to go with someone who's rational? Or am I going to go with someone who throws out fanboy rage porn to make money? Okay? When you think about it, it's almost comical, in my opinion. Then I get a text from another friend. This is what he told me, and this guy's never been wrong. That Lucasfilm is in chaos, that basically if anybody wants to get something done, they just bypass Kennedy completely and go either to the suits at Disney or I'm going to assume Favreau or Filoni. Okay, but she's in power. She's never going away. I hate people like that. I hate them. God damn it, I hate them. Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. You know, then he also told me this, and here's where it gets a little bumpy. The shareholders are pissed off about the earnings call. Okay, now, I don't find that hard to believe at all. Do you? Hey, Mephiston, I don't find that fucking hard to believe at all. So, then we have yesterday, Frank Marshall retweeting obscure, reporters. Please hit the like button. Thank you. Obscure reporters saying that she has a contract for 3 years. And where's the Hollywood Reporter? And this is where the thumbnail comes in. That was posted by IGN on their Facebook page. And that headline came from the Hollywood Reporter. And who's the Hollywood Reporter? The mouthpiece for Bob Chapek. And if anybody on the fanboy rage porn spectrum actually did their fucking homework, they'd say there's something obviously wrong and weird going on here. Let's talk about this. Let's have this conversation. On this side, you've got an obscure website saying he was told that she signed a 3-year contract. And on this, the facts, we have Indiana Jones 5 release date pushed back a year. But to the fanboys, and you know who they are, they attack Doomcock, they attack me, they attack Cameron, they attack my friend Craig, anybody who dares to go against their narrative. It's almost like they're being paid by somebody to shit on the fandom themselves, okay? And I mean that. I fucking mean that. If they had done their fucking homework, why was Indy 5's release date pushed back? Why? And there are several different stories going out there about Rogue Squadron. Why was that delayed? And THR is basically saying it's canceled. The Hollywood fucking Reporter. And Rian Johnson's trilogy is fucking canceled. The Hollywood Reporter. Which vindicates Doomcock. But you guys all want to sit there and attack him. Attack me. Attack Cameron. Attack Andre. Attack anybody who's actually trying to be rational about this. This is where I draw the line. If you can't see there's something bizarre going on, and you gotta run to, oh, she's never leaving. Meanwhile, the big, you know who they are. Somebody who plays games, somebody who uses a different euphemism for geek, and a ginger are counting money, your money, from AdSense, because you clicked on their clickbait. They're not going to sit there and go, you know, there's something odd going on. There's something massively odd going on here. Okay? Now, is it a propaganda war between Chapek going, you're out, why are you saying this? It doesn't matter if she's got a 3-year contract, 20-year contract, or a 1-year contract. When I hear things like people just ignore her anymore at Lucasfilm, that is big, okay? And that's not the only person who's told me that, all right? I was told by a guy I used to date, he was a CIA analyst. Okay? And he basically said that how you put, if you don't have eyes on the ground, there's SIGNET, which is signal intelligence, and there's human intelligence, HUMNET, they call it. Eyes on the ground, actual contacts, human like me, contacts, okay? You get, a guy walks in and talks to station chief. He says, blah, 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 this is happening. Then another contact, an actual person that is part of the team that's probably a native of, let's say, like Baghdad, gets a hold of one of the agents and says, this is happening. And it resembles what the guy that walked into the station chief at the embassy said to the station chief. Then you've got other stuff that signals something's going to happen. You kind of get an idea that this is happening. Okay, same thing with SIGNET. I'm going to tell you another story. The President of the United States doesn't get a briefing like you think he does every morning by the CIA. Pretty sure Joe Biden has never seen the daily briefing. I know Donald Trump did. Do you know what the daily briefing is? Put a 1 in the chat if you know what the daily briefing is. All right. And when I count all the ones, then I'll tell you. Because I'm going to explain. It is definitely a way you can tell about what's going on. It's messaging, okay, more than anything else. And when you look at how they put the daily briefing together, you're going to go, that's it. But I'm going to tell you something. The intelligence analysts at the CIA can extrapolate a lot of information. That is absolutely 100% a lot, okay, on that. Okay. I'll give you a couple more minutes, and it's a very important thing. Okay. Because it's something that you get every day. If you go to a news site, you go to Breitbart, you go to CNN, you go to Fox, you go to Sky News, you go to the Korean Yonhap News. Okay. I mean, my husband reads that stuff. It is newspaper headlines. That's what the daily briefing is. It's news headlines from all over the world. And the CIA director walks it in, sits down with the president over a coffee, and tells him what's going on. That's it. That's all it is. But the CIA can extrapolate a lot of information from that is highly classified. Okay? And it's as valuable as, Abu, whatever, Abu Syed Ismail walking in, to the station chief in Jordan, saying I just heard blah 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 talking about a terrorist attack in Paris. You might want to look this up. This is who did it. Blah blah blah. I'm just here because I don't want this to happen. It's just as valuable as that. Okay? Now, when I see headlines, Rian Johnson doesn't have, his trilogy has been canceled. When I see headlines that Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron is never going to happen, and then I see people running like they've lost their shit with Kathy Kennedy has a 3-year contract from an obscure website, basically headed by a guy who got kicked out of the Hollywood Reporter. And the byline of it was, I was told. I gotta scratch my head and wonder, all right, I'm going to assume the people who want to believe this are smart. I doubt it. I doubt their intelligence. And I have a lot of reasons why. And one of those reasons is I don't get it. I don't get you. I don't get why you can't sit there and let a story develop or lean back and think, how can this be true if this, and this is happening? Okay? How can this be true if Bob Chapek wants year-to-year contracts with these people? All right? How can this be true if the only thing she really wanted to do, Indiana Jones 5, has been delayed? Okay? For a year. Okay? And I'm not sure they're even filming. Because Frank Marshall, who, by the way, I'm still trying to figure out who the blonde was he was with his daughters at Diana the Musical. He's still in fucking New York. I know for a fact Harrison Ford is back in London. Okay, so what the fuck is going on? All right? When I get stuff from people saying, there's a lot of good stuff in the pipeline, hold on. There are good people who don't want to do a channel, who don't necessarily want to hear, want their names out there, but they wanted me to know. I hear that, they're part of the business. I go, okay, fine. When I hear it repeated by somebody else that I know has never been wrong, I'm cool with that. Nobody who is saying she's out has ever said she was going to be fired. So when I hear some idiot, Stig, say that I wanted her fired, of course I want her fired. We all do. It's never going to happen. I myself had to get used to that. I am honest with that. I would have kicked her out after TLJ dropped 72% between opening weekend and the second weekend. Okay? I had a launched her off the end of my foot. But that's not how it works. Because Bob Iger signs these people to ironclad contracts, and that no matter what you do, they're like the embedded wood tech that you can't remove. Okay? And the idea that she's never leaving, according to Loki. She's almost 70 years old. Okay? The shareholders probably want her gone, like yesterday. Okay? That's probably, I don't know if that was one of the things they were pissed off about after the earnings call, but that's got to be an overriding factor. Okay? When you've got that going on, when you've got, I mean, just, I love this. She's never leaving. Indy 5 release date pushed back. Ryan Johnson's trilogy gone. Rogue Squadron gone. The Acolyte probably canceled. Likely the High Republic gone. Okay. Children of Blood and Bones shelved, never to be seen again. The list is endless. Okay. But we don't think about that. We're not gonna think about the facts. Okay. Because facts don't care. This is what's happening that we know of. Fucking The Hollywood Reporter reported it. Okay, but there's nothing going on that's weird at Lucasfilm. Really? 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 My suggestion for people who really need to believe that she's never leaving, and there are people out there who really need to believe it. There are people out there who honestly fucking need to believe it. And they go to these big, circus freak fucking channels who make money off their misery. All right? It's disgusting. Okay? Because there's a difference between a rational discussion like at Midnight's Edge and a knockdown, drag out screaming match on others. Or a everything sucks, we're all gonna die, Star Wars is dead. A friend of mine, Mazurus, basically said, if they don't care, why do they even talk about it? Why even talk about it? Why? Okay, why? Money makes the world go around, the world go around. And that's fine. But be honest about it. All right? At least Doomcock is honest that he does this for entertainment. Okay? Which is really cool. And which is great. And he's been right more than he's ever been wrong. The fact that he was right about Ryan Johnson. Again, the Hollywood Reporter. Okay? I don't think is the Hollywood Reporter, nor is the Hollywood Reporter, nor is the Hollywood Reporter. Okay? All right? So you can run around with your hair on fire, or, I'll give you a bottle of bourbon, get yourself drunk off your ass, and cry about Kennedy staying. But the facts say otherwise. Okay? The facts say something there's definitely bizarre going on at Lucasfilm. Okay? And I am goddamn sick of the fucking emotional bullshit. This is when I get mad. Okay, this is when I go, I'm gonna kick someone in the ass. Okay, and I can't help myself. Because let me put it this way. I love a lot of these people. I love Loki. He's a great man. But dude, look at me. Look at me. You need to slow your roll. You need to think about what's really going on. Because I have heard nothing about the stuff that is not happening on her slate come out of any of their mouths. All they can see is this. Here's the shiny object. Could it be that Frank Marshall was merely defending her? Maybe. Okay. All right. But if I go on to Doomcock's chat tomorrow night, if he does Piercing the Veil, or Friday night, and I see any one of you in the chat saying shit about him, you better turn around and you better run real fast out the door because I'm coming after you. Okay? None of you have given any thought to doing your homework on this shit. Who wrote the Puck article? What has he done in his life? It wasn't. It didn't come from Collider. It didn't fucking come from Collider, you fucking morons. It came from a Heat Media, which was started a year ago, March, by a guy who, right before then, got launched off the toes of the people at the Hollywood Reporter, named Matthew Baloney. Literally, his name is Matthew Baloney. Okay. The guy teaches journalistic ethics at the Annenberg School at USC. Journalistic ethics. I have been told, in what world does I have been told, which is evidence, you can't present that in court as evidence because that's hearsay. And I'm literally, you can't. Everybody knows that. That's hearsay evidence. I have been told. The only thing that makes us even remotely legit is Frank Marshall. And after talking to Cameron and hearing what's been going on from two other people, there's a propaganda war going on. And when I see her stuff being canceled or delayed, that should be an indication that she's in dire straits at Lucasfilm. When I hear that people just ignore her and go around her, she's not there. She's the dog remote, okay? This is the thing that when I take Kojak out, because he doesn't listen, the thing about shepherds is that they have selective hearing. And I'm on the selection part of his hearing that he doesn't listen. So when I'm walking him, he wears his collar. This is his remote. If I don't carry the remote, I'm Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm and he just ignores me. Okay? Completely. All right. So that's the analogy that I can come up with. All right? That's the only analogy I can think of that works. So if she's been renewed, it's not for 3 years. If they're walking past her, it's because she doesn't have any power. Somebody else does. If it's a clusterfuck going on over there, it's because there are things in movement. People are leaving, people are coming in. But the fact of the matter is, when you can sit there with your 300,000 million subs, 2 million subs, yeah, I'm saying they took away her remote. I mean, you can sit there and say, because I've been told it's evidence enough for you to run around saying she was renewed for 3 years, and that's your evidence. You're full of shit, and you're doing it to get money, and you sit there, and the thing about it is that I really hate about these people. They're all about the gotcha. They don't give a shit about Star Wars. They don't give a shit about the legacy. They don't give a shit about what's good for the franchise. All they care about is getting AdSense money, and that's the only job they have. Okay? I don't see any of these people with these ginormous channels actually having 9-to-5 jobs, being plumbers, electricians. 100, what does that mean, Sakori? I don't see any of these people doing that. All right? I don't. They're worried about, I'm talking about the big channels, They're worried about their branding. And if you tell them, no, that's not what's really going on, because here's the deal. Okay, thanks. Here's the deal. These are the facts. A plus B equals C. So this rumor, the only thing that makes it even remotely legit is Frank Marshall retweeting it. And part of me thinks part of me realizes Cameron's probably right. I mean, it just, when you look at what's going on in the news, and I'm going to say this, I really think that Chapek is going to finally have to say enough is enough and get rid of her. All right, I really think that. It's going to have to be public and it's going to be ugly, but in order to shut them up and to give the rest of us a chance to just go, oh, fuck. The circus has to end. Because it is a circus. It is a fucking circus. Okay. We don't get any official word, but we get this obscure rumor from this obscure website. And, we don't get any, and the people running with it don't take the time to go, that's really weird. Even if Frank Marshall retweeted that tweet, it's really strange that Indiana Jones 5 has been pushed back from its release date back a year, unlike Marvel, which was a few months. Strange reshoots. That THR is reporting that Rian Johnson no longer has his sequel or his trilogy, that Patty Jenkins is out and that Rogue Squadron is dead. And strong rumors indicate the Acolyte is gone. But yet she has a 3-year contract. I would think that would be the gist of the debate and the discussion. But when you've got one thing and you can only talk about one thing and you have all the brain cells of an ant, what are you going to do? You're going to ignore all that. The evidence, the intel, and you're going to run with hearsay, all right? Again, if it bleeds, it leads. And again, why actually have an intelligent discussion about what's going on when you can make tons of AdSense money in super chats by, Oh, I agree, Carlos. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you don't need even the rumors that Doomcock and I and everybody talks about. You don't need them to see there's something wrong at Lucasfilm. In fact, in the 1980s, if this shit was going on, the story would be Kathy Kennedy's likely out at Lucasfilm. That would be the story. Because reporters would have to do their due diligence. When I was helping out at Breitbart, I wrote one article. When I was helping out at Breitbart, the rule was you had to do your due diligence. If you were going to work with them, you had to vet all your sources. You had to go through it and make sure that everything was done properly. Andrew insisted on that. Mike Flynn, God bless his soul, he insisted on that. Meanwhile, we've got this. Oh, there's a rumor she resigned her contract for 3 years. Let's all have a meltdown. Now, okay, it's a little bit different than Andrew Breitbart getting well, if you're talking about the Kennedy has been renewed, I think that the THR article about Rian Johnson and Rogue Squadron was the lashback from a legit source by Bob Chapek. Okay? So I said this. I've said this a million times. I'll say it again. And it's probably Frank Marshall's duty to do this. And he won't, but he should. Maybe Harrison Ford should sit her down. But someone's got to tell her, enough's enough. You need to leave. You need, this is, you're hurting yourself. Okay? Couch it that way. I mean, it's like you walk in to when you're at a Target, or dare I say, Walmart, or some store, department store like Kohl's. You walk around a corner and you hear screaming, and there's a five-year-old laying on the floor screaming and ranting and raving, screaming, "I want this, I want whatever I want," and the mom is just standing there. Imagine Kathy Kennedy is the screaming brat, and Frank Marshall is the mom, not saying, "You're coming with me. It's over. You're not getting anything. We're leaving," like I would do. Okay. He's just letting her scream, and he's actually enabling it. I would like to know who the blonde was at Diana the Musical. I really, really would. Because on one hand, he's defending Kathy. On the other hand, he's with some woman I don't know now. It could be his sister. It could be. But I find it fascinating that he's at a thing like that with somebody other than his wife, who is nowhere to be fucking seen, by the way. I've got people looking for her in England. They haven't seen her. There are people in California who haven't seen her. Okay? I would send people out to their house in Malibu to get pictures if I thought she was there. She is literally persona non grata. Well, if she is alone at the top, if she's even there anymore. And, I doubt the following people know what a figurehead is. Okay? They don't know what a figurehead is. This is just, it's first off, it's embarrassing for me watching the shit go down and watching the meltdown happen. Otherwise, rational adults freaking out about a rumor. And the only thing that makes it legit is Frank Marshall. And that doesn't even make it legit. Okay, it doesn't, it doesn't. Because there could be a lot of reasons why he did it. A, to defend her. B, to enable the propaganda war to continue. C, to tweak people off. He's not, and if he is doing it to enable her, he's not doing her any service. And as her husband, his duty is to protect her, and allowing the shit to happen is not protective. Okay, this is insanity. When I made the circus video, that's what it is. I mean, if you're somebody works on the production side and your immediate chain of command, she's in it, and you can just flaunt it and walk past her, that's huge. That's fucking huge. Okay? That is fucking huge. All right? If you are so fucked over that you have to use puck, if Baloney actually got that rumor from her people, even, I just think that the analogy of the crying kid in the middle of the aisle is the best one. And Daddy Bob Chapek, you know, if she did sign a contract, he should just fire her. I don't think she'd be able to get an ironclad contract from him. All right? What I would do is I'd give her a few $100 million and tell her to get the fuck out. All right? And let me tell you something. When I hear Gary Beekler, sit there with that big bushy beard of his and announce it to everybody that she's got all this dirt on people, how do you know? You don't know that. Nobody knows that. That's an idea that might be true, might be not true. The only thing that I can say that she might have is the stuff from the Twilight Zone and the Vic Morrow accident. That's it. That's all I personally know about. Okay, everything else is speculative. Okay, now she might have stuff on Bob Iger. Bob Iger's no longer in charge. Bob Iger is gone in December. Okay, she might have stuff on Steven Spielberg. I said this before. Probably other women. I don't care. George Lucas, he's a meanie. And Harrison Ford, womanizer, back in the day. And, Bob Iger's the only one I could think of that would be remotely damaging to Disney. And it's just, I'm pretty sure that if she told me, and I was about, let me put myself in the Bob Chapek's chair. I'm sitting there looking at that pointed rat face of hers. And she says, I've got secrets on George Clooney. I'm going to dump him if you fire me. Dump him! I don't care. I don't care. What does she have on Disney that everybody doesn't know already? They don't pay the cast members enough. They're getting sued by Raven Sun Creative. They'll probably settle out of court. They get caught up in pedophile nets once a year with cast members and people that are lower on the scale. But what would she have on Disney? She doesn't have anything on Chapek. Chapek was never part of that crowd. Now, did she, pay a private investigator? Maybe she did. Maybe she found out he had an affair. Who fucking cares? Okay? I don't care. This is me not caring. Okay? So, the only people that she could have anything on are named Clint Eastwood, Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Harrison Ford, John Milius, Martin Scorsese. And none of those people have any bearing, really, on Disney at all. So what does she have? And if she had something, and this shit's going on, why didn't she already play it? Because I would have. I would have played it last year. Okay? All she had was that Mean Girl shit with Gina. That's it. And Gina had nothing to hide. Everything was out there with her. Okay? Everything. So, well, I don't know, guilty by association, what's that supposed to mean? They don't have anything to do with Disney. So that doesn't make any sense at all. In a court of law, you'd be like, case dismissed with prejudice. Get the fuck out of my courtroom before I hold you in contempt. Okay? That's what I would do on this. Okay? I'm really angry at people right now because they didn't take time to think. They ran with a rumor, and no one stopped to think. The only legit source for this, the thing that makes it remotely legit is Frank Marshall, and what would be the reasons why he would do that. And what comes bounding back? A story in the Hollywood fucking Reporter saying that Rogue Squadron and Ryan Johnson's trilogy are dead. I would think everybody on the big sites, we know who they are, the big channels, would be going, what the fuck is going on? But no, nothing is going on. Queen Kathy, according to Gary Beekler, will never leave. Does the sun rise in the east and set in the west? Yes. She eventually will go. Maybe at D23. Maybe in May. But when I see all this shit on her slate gone, done, they're not doing it, it makes me go, there's something odd. I know, Carlos, but this was official. It was never official, okay? Repeat after me. Disney made it official yesterday, okay? It was never official. That's why you don't see me opening. Just a second. Stay cozy. I, my friends, am not putting this in the goddamn refrigerator and going out to get my celebration dinner until I hear it officially that she's gone. Okay? And despite, you name the big channel, it's not official. What is official, let me repeat. Indiana Jones 5 release date pushed back. No Ryan Johnson trilogy. No Rogue Squadron. Likely no Acolyte. Whose projects were all those? Were they Kathy Kennedy's? I think they were. That's official. That's fucking official. Okay? So you guys come and tell me where I'm wrong here. Because you need to be miserable or you need to the AdSense money. Because it's how you make your living. On YouTube. All right? The only thing that makes it remotely legit is Frank Marshall, and there could be a plethora of reasons why he would retweet that. Okay? And as far as Cameron, who's never been wrong, said, she's out. I mean, regardless if she got a contract extension, if you look at what's been canceled, she's out. She's done. So what the fuck are you people bitching about? This is why I'm done with the fandom menace. Okay. You say you don't care, and then you scream out about Kathy Kennedy. If you don't care, shut the fuck up. Okay? I don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't want to hear the name Kathy Kennedy come out of Ryan Cannell's mouth and the rest of their mouths ever again. Okay? I don't. And the reason why is this. You don't take any of the actual official facts into consideration. All right? You don't. That pisses me off. Then you get other people wound up. Get off the internet. Tell you what. Go take a walk in the woods with your dog, like I do every day. Go, I've got a horse. I go see her every day. I take long hot baths. All right? I listen to music and cook. I hang out with my husband. All right? Get the fuck off your goddamn channel and go do something and think once. All right? When you've got something like this rumor and these facts, maybe you should sit back and say, like they used to back in the old days when they actually reported the news, and develop a story. Develop it. See where it goes. Okay? It's interesting to know that Doomcock does that. Andre does that. Okay? They do that. Why don't you guys do that? I don't get it. Let the story unfold before you say a word. Because you don't know the whole story. You don't know what's going on. None of us really do. All I do is look at the facts and say the facts don't fit that narrative. Not even a little bit. Okay? They don't. They don't. All right? And, you know, I don't understand this. And another thing, Kathy Kennedy is the most powerful woman in Hollywood. No, she's not. I've said this before, I'll say this a million again. Where are the other companies wanting to hire her away if she's so great? Where? 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 If she's so powerful, why wasn't there an official announcement? It looks like to me like she's been ground up and turned into a hamburger. And she's got to rely on these obscure websites. You know, these obscure websites to even put her propaganda up. All right? If it's even true. Okay? You know, it doesn't matter if she signed a contract. It matters if she's got power. And when you see all this stuff being canceled and the rest of it, you know, she doesn't have any power. All right. And it's time to admit, all right, it's time to say, God, I got wound up over nothing. You got to sit back and see where it goes. That's what a good news person does. Okay, we don't have those anymore. But that's what they used to do. They used to follow up leads. You know, I did that yesterday. It took me 5 minutes to find out who Matthew Baloney was. His name really is Baloney, too, by the way. I'm not kidding. Belloni. Baloney. All right, if it would have been Bellini, it would be actually kind of interesting, but all right, that's his name. It took me 5 seconds. It took me 5 seconds to find out who this Eric Zespa was and the guy he retweeted. All right, that Frank Marshall retweeted. It's not that difficult. First off, you gotta see where they're coming from. And when you start finding out who they are, then you can see their angle. Because they all have an angle, they all have a byline. When you realize what it is, then you can make an intelligent, discerning judgment on what the fuck is going on. Okay? I mean, I just go, I can't. I fucking can't. It's so tiring. You know, and these people just sit in front of their fucking computers and their phones, not looking at the rest of the world. Okay? Not looking at the way things are. And all I have to do is open up the Hollywood Reporter. Well, that's the thing. To me, you know, if she did resign a short deal, it would only be to get Indy 5 done. A movie that I'm going to blame her and Bob Iger on, should have been made 5 years ago if they were going to make it. Back in 2017, Harrison Ford had a script to look at, okay? All right? I'll tell you something else. Where are her defenders in the club? Where's Steven Spielberg? Not saying anything. Not getting involved. You know? Where is Robert Zemeckis? And I know his daughter, by the way. Where's Clint? Where are they? No one is saying a fucking word. People that you can run with. The only one who did is Frank Marshall, and he's married to her. So he could have retweeted a fucking lie. It's all to defend her. No, the only one, I mean, she's got obscure websites and shill SJW fanboy sites running with the Puck article. And again, what is the rule? I was told is not a news story. It's hearsay evidence. It's a rumor. Okay? Now, the fact that Ryan Johnson isn't saying anything about a sequel trilogy says a lot, because I know I would have heard. This is being saved, though, and that's official. That is a fucking official, if THR posted it. So, this is being saved for when she's gone. And she's going to be gone probably a lot sooner than you think. Because to ignore everything that's been canceled is intellectually dishonest. And I cannot handle people who are emotional and intellectually dishonest about this stuff. Right? I see politicians on the left whooping people up by being emotional and intellectually dishonest. It's a bad, it's hearsay evidence. It is a rumor. You have to couch it as a rumor, like Doomcock does, like I do, like Andre, like anybody who's honest. Okay? I mean, if you're gonna say this is a rumor, I was told, okay. But if you're gonna say I was told, and you call yourself a journalist, you're a fucking phony. Okay. There you go. Anyway, I'm done. I gotta go. I've got stuff to do. I gotta go do my rounds and then take the dog for a walk. And hopefully we'll see deer. I saw that turkey flock again. There have to be 30 or 40 birds in that flock. They were out in the field and I was like, holy shit. And of course, my trigger finger and standing with them was a big buck, a great big fucking buck. And I'm like, I estimated him to be about 500 yards away. So too far for a rifle shot. Yeah, Qui-Gon Gimli, the only thing that makes it even remotely legit is the tweet that Frank Marshall retweeted. Okay? And if I haven't put it up in the community page, I'll show it to you. Anyway, I gotta go because I got an email from the Mexican Iron Man and I got stuff to do, so you guys be good, behave, let not your heart be troubled. Okay? We're actually winning this thing. Okay? And if you're overwhelmed, go take a walk. It's a lovely fall day. Go get some fresh air. Go, if you got a dog, take him or her to the park. If you've got a horse, go ride. Go exercise, go to the gym. But there's good things happening. I know there are. Okay? And you can't let, the alternate, the video game site channel, the alternate word for geek, and the hanger-on tell you, hey John, I'm just getting done, man. You got in here late. Let you to believe that everything's bad. Okay? There are reasons for that. All right? You just got to have faith. All right? We've got this. I know we do. All right? And to the people who want to attack Doomcock, you come after me. Because I see you in chat doing that. I'm going to have your scalp on my belt. Okay, so this is Steph.